So I have a story for Judge Connie Holk. She was born and raised in Morgan County, and she's became a small claims judge back in 1983. I'm guessing her date of birth is around 1940. The only reason why is because of college time. So, we do know that Georgia originally was indigenous land and that the settlers that were there, slave owners, they ran out most of the indigenous people where they lost their land and homes. In the 1950s, well, I think it was like the 1910s, blacks were trying to relocate to areas where they can make a life because, freedom was settling in. And so in the 1950s, the KK arose in Georgia and it ran most of the black people out of town. So I'm just going to read from you guys out of my notes about sundown towns and how they were created pretty much. And Georgia is a part of this list. So the ideal of keeping out African Americans weren't born in the South. It was born up north to just keep black people out of their towns. They wanted them close to the water so we can go home as soon as possible. So in 1848, they accomplished these laws to end. What might some of these ledgers will read to you says, the General Assembly shall at its first session under the admitted Constitution pass such laws as will effectively prohibit free persons of color from immigrating to and settling in the state, and to effectively prevent the owners of slaves from bringing them to into the state for the purpose of setting them free. Why is any of this relevant? Well, she grew up in this time period. So her parents definitely probably washed her into this. Okay, so in 1929, whites replaced blacks for jobs because, they were free back then. And then in the 1930s, the Mexicans joined the mini nadar. If you don't know what the mini nadar is, go ahead and Google it up. It's just going to explain to you about how blacks and Mexicans had to fight for livelihood and freedom. And also, side note to add in, Texas was not as big as it was back then. It was actually fairly close to Georgia. And Comanche County, Texas, in 1886, they didn't allow any Jews or Mexicans, of course, no colors. In the year of 1879 was the exodus of the blacks from Mississippi, moving to Louisiana, to Indian territories, Kansas, and anything else in between. So around the time she was born, Cicero, Illinois were forcing out blacks, and they were making a astonishment to them. So they decided to mock them and push out everyone else around that time. So I'm telling you, she was born around this time. She was born in this slavery time, some slavery mindset, and it just seems kind of sad. In the 60s, it was the fall of Detroit for her, and that's around my age time. I'm 30 years old, so y'all can't tell me that she ain't reflecting back to her old times or something like that. I just can't make it make sense. This woman's smart as hell too. She's gone to college and she's got so many certificates. I just can't make it make sense that she boiled down that the owner of the house got to get out of their own home while this woman's disrespecting, screaming. The dad's lying about, saying that he hit him, and the girl screaming about his dead family member. I overall find it very, very unfair. I find it racially motivated because of her history. I find it racially motivated because of the judge's history in the town. She was born and raised there. And I just gave you guys a prediction and idea to pick up with that and make your own sense of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't seem right for a person with that much money putting into your town, You know what I mean? That wouldn't you want to keep them in your town to keep your town thriving and growing? But you know, when in that video that I'm gonna post, the dad, however, got arrested that night for battery, and so did Derrick. And Derrick's never been to jail before a day in his life. It seems just all unfair to me. Also in the video, you can see Derrick never even tapped that man with a finger. He was very scared and just tried to turn on the light. And the guy started running back and saying, "Oh, you hit me, oh my God." Yeah, I don't understand it. Now, I've only done some research on Judge Connie Holk. I didn't do any research on her husband, Johnny Holk III, although I could have. But I just overall want to get my voice heard, the Indians' voices heard that was ran out of Georgia, and the reason why they want to keep it sundown right now. I want to get this out because this is unfair beyond. NACCP, if y'all catch this video and see it, the man's name is Derrick Williams, and he's from Morgan, Georgia. He's a young black man. He decided to open up a, it's like a wildlife thing on his property and company, you know, and he had a white girl, and she was supposed to be like in charge of a couple of things there, but she had brought her family into his house, and now this lady is trying to tell him that he can't do anything. I'm also going to post a little bit about this lady's education history so the NACCP sees how well she's backed up and grounded and how much help that she has besides just herself out there or something. I don't know. I know that you guys can make sense of it. I'm going to leave some tags of TikToks and Facebooks in this post. I want to get as much attention to this. Please share it.
Wanted it.
Yep.
Chris Key would have wanted it. What happened to him?
You're pushing me. Why are you talking about my dead brother? Stupid. It's just stupid.
What happened to him? Chris Key would not like this of you. He would say
Out.
making a
Out.
mistake.
Man, I'm telling you. Keep my brother's name out your mouth!
Tell me to one more time.
Keep his name out your mouth!
Stop! What are you going to do about it? He's dead anyways.
You're not going to disrespect my dead brother. You're not going to disrespect my dead brother.
George, stop. Is that a threat? Because I will if I have to. Chris Key is dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. He's dead. He's gone. He's probably in hell.
Let me walk away before let me. Stay away from me! I'm warning you! Stay away from me! Stay away from me! Stay away from me! I'm not going to tell you again. Stay away from me.
Chris Key would have hated you.
Stay away from me!
Chris Key hates you. He's dead. He's probably in hell. He's probably George, shut the fuck up! He almost hit me. Hit me because Chris Key would have wanted it. Chris Key wants you to punch me in the face. Shut the fuck up!
My brother died today, you stupid! Oh my
Your
God.
brother's dead. Chris
Get
Key
away
died.
from me!
Chris Key died.
Your child.
Get away from me!
Get out of my house.
Get away from me!
Get out of my house. Chris Key would have hated you. He hates you. He's dead.
You up for it?
He's in hell. He's in hell.
Do not come through my doorway! Do not come through this doorway! Get away! Get away from my door! Get away from my door! Now! Get away from my door! Get away from my door! Get off me! Get off me! Get off me!
Chris Key's dead. He's not coming to life. He's dead.
Get away from me!
So I just want to be very pointed that Judge Holt has advised that she is not, and will not entertain you all pressing charges against Jordan Hardy tonight for the matter that I called you out for.
Not tonight. Like I said, in my definition, it's going to fit perfectly because she was fine. I mean, that video is what, 10, 15 minutes long?
Okay.
So obviously the antagonist the whole time. There was a point where there was some shoving going on that would have never happened had she not kept on and kept on.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight that's a no-go for me, but it's not over yet.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Get away from me! 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 Quit hitting me! Get away from me! Get away from me! Stop! Get your hands off me! Oh shit! Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me!
In 1813, members of the indigenous Creek tribe would come against those who had been encroaching on their land. Numerous people were lost, including those in the Brantley family, all except the patriarch Lewis Brantley, whom Lake Brantley is named after. Eventually, these indigenous tribes would be driven out of their own land by Andrew Jackson. Fast forward, and people not only have seen apparitions walking the land,